Hell yeah. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the Let's talk about the West, bro. NFC West. Let's start with my Arizona Cardinals, who broke my heart last week, making Kyler Murray the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now. I mean, besides that, the big story is going to be D-Hop not being able to return for 6 weeks due to a PED. He still is able to practice with the team and everything like that during training camp, but just obviously can't be there weeks 1 through 6. So that's going to be a huge blow. And we'll see if Kyler does his independent study for this, Noah, because it's going to be all on him. They're paying him like the guy. It's going to be a lot of pressure. The front half of their schedule is just so jacked up, dude. I think they'll win some games. I think they'll do fine. They'll probably go 3-3 in those first 6 games without D-Hop. But I really see this team not doing a lot better than 9-8, bro. Like, I just can't see them if they get into the playoffs, because the NFC West is, I would say taken down a notch with everything going on. I don't think they're really going to be fighting where. I don't think they're going to be fighting with. I don't think they'll be fighting with. What's it called? The Rams for the top spot there in the NFC. So I'm going 9-8 there, Noah. Just slam the under there for them. How you doing with that?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Obviously, we covered the Cardinals a bit. One thing to be a little nervous about if you're a Cardinals fan, Hollywood Brown with a hamstring injury. They're expecting that he should be good to go by either like the last preseason game or week 1. However, if he does aggravate that and injures it worse, Cardinals could potentially be without Hollywood Brown and D-Hop to start the season, and I don't know who the hell they're going to throw the ball to if that's the case. But yeah, not really a slam the under type of situation. The over-under is at 9 wins for the Cardinals. So that's one I'm just going to stay off of because I've got them right at 9. If you check it out, we do have a video deep diving into the Cardinals already. So we won't spend too much extra time on that right now. AJ, I do want to talk about another team in the division here. Mainly because of a little bit of relevancy. Team not expected to do very well, and the Seahawks just signing DK Metcalf to a monster extension. Yeah, three years, I think $72 million with like 58 guaranteed or something on that. So,
I mean, he's worth it. He's worth it.
So, yeah, there was a lot of talk about whether or not they were going to move him, or if they weren't going to move him, that they should sign him to a contract. And DK did get paid. I don't think that makes any big difference. He's still got, Drew Lock throwing him the ball. So
or Geno.
Or Geno Smith.
The first ever 5th tier ranked quarterback in the NFL by the Athletics.
So not great options there at quarterback.
No.
I think DK will still have some like fantasy football value.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, he's now locked up in Seattle for 3 more years, I guess.
I mean, and that doesn't really change my mind with what I have with the Seahawks and everything. They're just not going to be good this year, and it really is just they're in rebuilding. Whether Pete Carroll wants to admit it or not, as long as you have those 2 quarterbacks of Drew Lock and Geno Smith, who, let's be real, they're going to try whoever fits best that week. I don't think it's going to be this is our starter going into the season. I think they're going to pick and choose their spots, which might work out for the Seahawks. Pete Carroll is a genius for a reason. Like, he's damn good at his job. But that leads me to a conspiracy theory that we'll talk about here in a minute that I like a lot.
Except for when he's on the 1-yard line with the Super Bowl on the line.
Shit. Yeah, that was a bad call. That was a bad play call there.
Yeah. Anyways, Seahawks over under for them 6 wins. 78% of the public on the under there.
Yeah.
AJ, where do you stand on that? How do you see the Seahawks doing this year?
Dude, I don't think they're going to be as bad as everyone thinks they're going to be. I just think their schedule right now is unfair. They have to play a rejacked AFC West throughout the season, throw in a little AFC South in there too. And then, of course, the I mean, you're going to be beating up with the Cardinals and the Rams all season long. Uh, yeah, I mean, they might squeeze out 7, might go 7-10 if they get lucky. If their quarterback situation improves. We really don't know what Drew Lock and Geno Smith have. This is a new system, a different style of ball. We'll see what the boys can do. Have a little bit of faith, but honestly, like 7, yes, I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go 5-12. I changed my mind.
Yeah, that's about where I am. I've got them going 4-13 this
Yeah.
year. I'm liking that under at 6. And yeah, I don't think they're going to be very good. They're not going to get good quarterback play. They do have Lockett and DK, but that's about the only good thing I can say about that offense. I don't think the defense is going to be particularly impressive either. I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Seahawks this year.
Oh, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for the 12s, up there. We'll see if that stadium stays as loud as it has been with Russell, manning that ship. But let's move it to Cali. All right, let's talk about one of the more interesting quarterback situations in the NFL right now. Jimmy G for the 49ers being told that he can go ahead and seek a trade. With that deadline coming up where he is due that 21 mil, the 49ers have a decision to make here. I mean, it's nothing to do with. I mean, they've said already Trey's the guy. He's taking 1 snaps. He's doing everything like a starting quarterback. We'll see how that goes. But Jimmy G, let's be real. If he does end up getting cut by the 49ers, could go to the Seahawks. But before the beginning of the season, which if that happens, I mean, and that could be one of the reasons they re-sign DK, or they're like, no, we're just going to tank and get CJ Stroud number 1 overall next season. Obviously, no NFL team would ever tank or pay someone to tank or anything like that.
Yeah, that's never happened before.
No, never happened, never would happen. There's not a lawsuit going on about it right now. But shit, that's a fucked up situation. But yeah, I'm not really expecting much out of the 49ers though this season. I don't think they're rebuilding. I think they're definitely gonna be better than the Seahawks. It's just gonna be all in Trey Lance. They're saying Trey Lance is the guy. From what we saw last season, he wasn't the guy. Obviously, a year under his belt, sitting behind Jimmy G, could improve a lot. We'll see. At the end of the day, you still have Travis Kelce, Deebo Samuels maybe, and solid defense. That's why I'm putting them I'm going to put them at 7 wins. I'm going to say they're going to go 7-10 and do well. I think they're going to do well. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but it'll be a good step forward for Trey Lance. Noah, where do you sit with this?
I've got them winning a little bit more than that. I think they'll have some success like they have in previous years, not really needing that quarterback play to still be a competitive team. I think Trey Lance is going to win them more games than Jimmy G would have, but I think he's also going to lose them more games at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're going to be a little bit more variable. I think not quite as consistent as they've been. I think they're going to have higher peaks but lower valleys this season. They're over-under sitting at 10. 75% of the public on the under there. I've got them going 9-8, matching what the Cardinals do. I think there'll be a game over 500. So
make playoffs or miss playoffs?
It's going to be tight. I could see them squeaking in with a wild card just because of how weak the NFC is through and through. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to tiebreakers between them and the Cardinals and who's nabbing a wild card spot.
Fair enough, Noah. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the team that I think we both think is going to win the NFC West, and that being the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams, with Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford still at the helm, re-signing everyone under the sun. Aaron Donald coming back for an insane amount of money. Cooper Kupp's still there. The boys are still there in Florida, in fucking LA. I mean, they had a good time for their Super Bowl parade, minus the Matt Stafford, pushing that woman off and everything. But I'm sorry, she didn't push; she just turned away. But they want to do that again, and the boys are jacked up. They're going to be jacked up. We know how hard it is to repeat, but it's been a long time since I think we've seen a team like that Patriots team that repeated a couple years back and everything, that this team can still go. I mean, they did what the Buccaneers did and brought back all their pieces. Obviously didn't work out with the Bucs with some key injuries and stuff like that. But how do you not have them winning 13 games? How do you not have them going 13-4 and probably having one of the best records in football? Because that's what I got them at.
Yeah, I've got them at a game lower than that. I'm going 12-5. I think they win the division no problem by 2 or 3 game margin. However, it's not going to be a cakewalk against the Niners or against the Cardinals. Niners have had the Rams number for the longest time. I think they've won 6 or 8 straight regular season matchups. The Rams did get the better part of the Niners in the NFC Championship game. However, the Niners almost pulled away with that one too. They've given the Rams some trouble. So I like the Rams. I don't think they've gotten any better or worse this offseason. There's been some changes, some movement. A couple pieces are a little bit different, but I like them to go 12-5. Again, win that division.
Yeah, definitely win.
I was going to say over/unders at 10.5. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, give me that over.
I don't see them winning less than 11 games.
Oh, no shot. Yes, they are. Like, it's a tough schedule, but every schedule is a tough schedule in the NFL. They just have it right now. They got it right now, and they have the chance to really keep building on that. I'm stoked for the Rams, bro. It's going to be a good season to be a Rams fan still.